me, Shielded was a journey. Getting ready to release this single, I had to think way back. Goes back, I mean, singing with the band Kerygma. It was a really great season. I remember, actually, we got to play a couple of different venues like Spirit West Coast. And Bill Wiley, who I wrote the song with, and we continued to write for this new upcoming project, we were kind of thinking about some different things coming to the end of what we were doing with Kerygma. And we're actually at Spirit West Coast in Del Mar, in California. I remember seeing 10th Avenue North on the main stage, and we kind of looked at each other and said, yeah, I could see you kind of doing that kind of sound, more the pop sound. And so I had asked him, I said, you know what, I want to write some new material. Do you want to write with me? And basically he was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's start writing. And I had already been talking with Steve Williams, who's producing Shielded, and we were in a different place. Said, hey, you know what, let's see what we come up with. And so we started writing songs for the project. I began to think as I wrote, I did like 3 or 4 rewrites on it. I was trying to find the subject matter. I was asking God, like, what do you really want me to say through this? I began to think about that because I think about, if I go way back, you know, what the song means to me. I think about a place in my life as a teenager. I think about getting my first car, and I was just crazy and rebellious. And I was working at this amusement park in my hometown, and I went out there to go pick up my paycheck. And I never wore my seatbelt, ever, because I was too cool to do that. And I remember pulling into a gas station, and I went in and I got some things in the gas station. I came out, I popped a cigarette in my mouth, lit it up, turned the radio full blast, and pulled out of the driveway. And I put my seatbelt on. I put my seatbelt on. I mean, what was that all about? Well, I believe that was God going ahead and making the decision that He had a plan. And something spoke to me, and I just did it. I turned out of the driveway, I shot down, and I made my first right. I drove down the road. A Bronco pulled in front of me. I hit him dead on, and he rolled. Remember the paramedic saying to me, were you wearing your seatbelt? I was like, I don't know, was I wearing my seatbelt? It's like, you know what? Scratch that. I don't even have to ask you twice, because if you weren't wearing your seatbelt, I would be picking your bones out of the steering wheel. So about 2 weeks ago, a friend and I, we ran out to the crash site, and I revisited it. It was an emotional thing for me to actually visit it and see how things have changed. I mean, of course, you know, the structures and everything around it are all different, but the place is still very real. I still remember the accident. I still remember everything that took place, and I'm thinking back now how God saved my life that day. You see, God took me back to that place in writing this song, because I should have died that day. I should have died that day, and God had a plan. I know there is a God. There is a God that's very real. There's a God that cares about me and understands what I'm going through at this particular moment of my life. And I may not have an answer, but I know there is a God that does. My hope is that people will find that hope in God, as I found, and that He's always with them. He's never going to leave them. He's never going to forsake them. He's always right there. Storms are going to come. Man, they're going to come. But whatever storms come, whatever storms brew up, my place as the writer is that people would see that there is a God that can speak them calm.